My child, your tears have not fallen unseen. When the light dimmed and silence gathered around your heart, I was there, unseen wings sheltering your trembling soul. The room stilled, as if creation itself held its breath for your pain. Time wavered, the ticking clock softened into a slow heartbeat that echoed your ache. Even the air shimmered with the weight of what was gone. Yet within that silence, heaven bent close. I watched your shaking hands reach for what could not stay, and I whispered through the veil, nothing loved is ever lost. The candle on the table flickered once, as if it heard. You thought it coincidence. I tell you now, it was the first sign that the divine had not turned away. 2. Beloved, grief is the language of love learning to speak in absence. I saw how the night folded around you, a dark shawl woven from memories and questions. Each breath hurt, as though the world itself had become too sharp to bear. But even in that desolation, light waited at the edges, soft, persistent, patient. You may have noticed it, the way the dusk seemed to hum, or how shadows curved into the shape of their smile. Those were not illusions, my precious soul. They were threads of presence, whispering that what ended in body continues in spirit. I gathered each of your tears as stars for their path home, so that even your sorrow could become illumination. 3. My child, the heavens wept with you. When you called out into the emptiness, your voice rose through realms like a song seeking its echo. The answer was immediate, though you did not yet hear it, a trembling in the air, a warmth across your chest, a sudden memory blooming without reason. That was them, reaching through the veil, carried by my wings. I stood between your anguish and their peace, a messenger of mercy. In that moment, every angel bowed, for grief is the holiest prayer a mortal can utter. Know this, your pain was never punishment. It was the doorway through which understanding would one day enter. For, precious soul, I saw the moment when the stillness grew unbearable. The world continued, clocks ticking, cars passing, voices speaking, yet none of it felt real. You were suspended between heartbeat and eternity, where even air seemed sacred and wrong. I whispered then, breathe, my beloved. The living must still breathe, and you did. A trembling inhale that reached all the way to heaven. That breath became a bridge, the first connection between your world and mine. The candlelight shimmered brighter, as if a spirit leaned close to listen. You thought you were alone, you never were. 5. Beloved, the silence that followed their passing was never empty, it was waiting to speak. Every pause, every sigh, every moment you sat with your head bowed in disbelief, was a space where the divine gathered meaning. You will come to understand that silence holds more truth than words ever can. But to hear it, you must listen differently, not with ears, but with the heart that still remembers love's vibration. For even now, beyond what eyes can see, something stirs. A voice, faint yet familiar, calling you toward revelation. To be continued. 6. My child, lift your gaze from the ground. The world around you has begun to shimmer with messages disguised as ordinary moments. Have you noticed how certain melodies repeat in your days, or how a scent from long ago drifts suddenly through still air? These are not accidents. They are the echoes of love, translated into the language of the living. When feathers appear where none should be, or when the same phrase finds you in dream and waking thought, know that the veil is breathing. The departed do not vanish, they change their way of speaking. Listen gently, and you will begin to hear the continuation of your story together. 7. Beloved, heaven speaks softly. It will not shout over your sorrow, but it will sing beneath it. When dusk settles and the world grows quiet, you may feel a warmth along your shoulders, as if unseen hands rest there in compassion. That is not imagination, it is remembrance alive. Light bends around you with purpose. The same golden hue that once fell upon their smile now seeks you, offering peace in fragments. I walk beside that light, guiding it to where your heart can recognize its source. Do not fear these moments, they are not hauntings, but healings waiting to unfold. 8. Precious soul, every signal you receive, the fluttering feather, the clock stopping for a breath, the whisper in wind, is an invitation. You are being asked to open the eyes within your heart. I have woven their presence into the world around you so you will not wander blind in your grief. Even now, they walk with you in reflections, in songs that return unbidden, in the gentle stirring before sleep. I speak through these signs, nothing is lost that love has touched. When you acknowledge them, you allow heaven to draw nearer, and your heart begins to remember how to glow. 9. My child, do not dismiss the impossible. Faith begins where reason falters. I know the mind resists, clinging to what it can measure, yet the soul remembers a broader truth. Each dream where they appear, each sudden thought that feels like their voice, is part of a sacred correspondence. The universe itself participates, light bending, air shimmering, small coincidences aligning until you must finally whisper, could it be? Yes, beloved, it is. The veil thins for those who dare to hope. The departed are not gone, they are transformed, awaiting your readiness to see. 10. Precious soul, you are closer to hearing their final gift than you realize. The whispers, the feathers, the songs, they have all been leading you here, to the threshold where comprehension dawns. I have watched your sorrow ripen into quiet courage. Soon, you will perceive not just the signs, but the meaning beneath them, the pattern your shared love has drawn across both worlds. Hold your heart steady, for revelation approaches like morning light over a grieving sea. To be continued. 11. My child, the time has come for sight beyond sight. You have listened to the whispers, and now I will unveil what they have tried to tell you. Imagine, before your inner eyes, a vast sky, dark yet alive with points of gold. Each star is a memory shared with the one who passed beyond. Watch as they draw lines between themselves, shaping a constellation known only to your soul. Every laughter, every tear, every tender silence is part of that celestial map. I trace its shape for you with light from my wings, and as you behold it, you will see how nothing that ever truly loved you could vanish. The pattern is intricate, alive, unfolding even now. Your grief is one of its colors, your endurance another. Do you see, beloved? You were never separate stories, you were one great design written across eternity's canvas. 12. Beloved, the threads of your lives are woven through time like rivers that meet beneath the surface. What feels like an ending to you is simply the deep curve of their stream turning into unseen light. When you close your eyes, feel the pulse at your wrist, that rhythm beats in harmony with the life they now live in spirit. I show you this so you will know, death has not divided, only transformed. You stand in the shallows of eternity, watching ripples that carry their laughter back toward you. If you listen closely, you will hear them call your name without sound. It is not imagination, but remembrance. The soul remembers what the body forgets. And so, I draw you nearer to understanding. Love was never bound to flesh, but born of something that cannot die. 13. My precious soul, I have opened before you the luminous archive of your shared time. Watch now as the air itself turns to gold and images form like breath upon glass. The first meeting, the smallest kindness, the moments you thought lost to dust. They were never gone. They live here, preserved in the folds of divine memory. Each vision pulses like a heartbeat, shimmering with warmth. As you reach out, the scenes drift through your fingers, soft and radiant, leaving a trail of sweetness in their wake. I whisper, do not cling, only witness. For in witnessing, you awaken. These are not ghosts, they are love's living imprints. And through them, I reveal a hidden truth. The story was written to teach your heart the shape of eternal connection. 14. My child, awe begins where despair once stood. See how the light bends around your sorrow, turning every shadow into depth, every ache into opening. The veil thins further, the pattern brightens until it trembles with recognition. You understand now, pain was never a punishment, but the chisel carving space for understanding. As you gaze upon the golden network of memory, you may sense a soft presence standing just behind it, their essence, shining without form, smiling through time itself. I step aside so you may feel them more clearly. In that instant, the air becomes fragrant, the temperature shifts, and your tears no longer fall from grief but from gratitude. For you realize that what you loved has become the very light guiding your way. 15. Beloved, the message they left was not in words, but in what your heart already knows. It hums beneath every quiet moment, urging you to live as proof that love continues. The signs, the dreams, the warmth, all were invitations to remember that union never truly ceased. I see you tremble with both wonder and fear, uncertain if it is real. It is. The cosmos itself bears witness. The bond you share exists beyond the reach of death's illusion. And as you breathe this truth, your heart begins to glow with the same light I carry. To be continued. 16. My child, let us step now into the garden of their happiest memory. The gates open with a sigh of wind, petals drifting like soft music around us. The air glows, time folds back. See how they stand there, radiant and whole, laughter echoing across the bright horizon. You walk toward them, not as one left behind but as one remembered completely. Every color deepens, the green of the grass, the gold of the sky, the scent of rain mixed with sunlight. You reach out, and your fingers pass through warmth, not absence. Love greets you in waves. I whisper, this is how they live now, within joy, untouched by sorrow. Let your eyes drink in the truth, love survives the dusk, it was never broken, only changed into brilliance. 17. Beloved, linger a little longer in this vision. Hear the sound of their voice, how it rises like dawn, familiar yet purified by eternity. They do not speak words, but you understand them perfectly. Gratitude flows from them toward you, a shimmering river of light. They thank you for every kindness, every forgiveness, every attempt to keep living. You see how your love sustained them even in departure. I guide your gaze upward, and the sky above this sacred garden ripples with wings, souls ascending, radiant in their remembering. Do you feel it, precious soul? This place is not elsewhere, it lives within your heart, waiting whenever you close your eyes in love. 18. My child, the garden fades gently now, but do not mourn its passing. What you have seen cannot be lost. It has become part of you. When you wake, colors will seem brighter, sounds more tender. That is the vision echoing through your senses, reshaping how you perceive life. You will find traces of that eternal garden in morning dew, in the laughter of strangers, in the light through leaves. This is the gift of revelation. Once you have seen love in its eternal form, you can never truly feel forsaken again. I touch your brow and whisper, remember this peace, and let it lead you. You nod, and the air glows softly around your heart. 19. Beloved, see how your heart has changed. Where there was only ache, now there is motion, like a tide returning to shore. That is healing beginning. The soul learns by contrast. Through loss, you have discovered the immensity of connection. I show you the path ahead, luminous stones appearing one by one under your feet, each step carrying you closer to understanding why the departure occurred. The heavens align their stars above, echoing your every movement. You walk no longer in despair, but in pilgrimage. The loved one's spirit walks parallel, just beyond sight, smiling as you advance. Their purpose was never to leave, but to teach you how to see eternity in every passing moment. 20. My child, what you will see next will rewrite the way you remember. Already, the veil trembles with light, eager to reveal the deeper meaning behind all you have endured. You have crossed from mourning into mystery, from silence into dialogue. Prepare your heart, for the next truth will not simply comfort, it will transform. To be continued. 21. Beloved, come closer to the flame of understanding. The vision dims, and you stand once more within the quiet of your own room, yet the fragrance of heaven still lingers. I fold my wings around you and say, what ended was not life but a chapter of purpose. The soul you mourn reached a summit invisible to human eyes. When their task was complete, the divine called them onward. To you, it felt like tearing, like the fabric of your days unraveling, but to them, it was release into infinite expansion. You were never left behind, you were entrusted with continuation. Their absence is the space in which your courage will bloom. The Creator saw your strength and said, let this one learn to shine through pain, for others will find light in that glow. And so the parting was not abandonment, it was assignment. 22. My child, remember the moment you whispered, why must endings hurt so much? I heard you, and even then I began to weave your question into wisdom. Pain, though fierce, is not a punishment, it is revelation wearing a rough disguise. Through it you discover the boundless nature of love, that it cannot be confined to touch or time. Look how your heart has expanded since that day, it feels everything more deeply now. This is spiritual maturity, to bear sorrow and still open toward compassion. The departed one's light has fused with yours, together you are shaping a gentler world. Do not think of them as gone, think of them as diffused, like sunlight that no longer gathers in one beam but illuminates everything. 23. Precious soul, I show you now a vision of dissolving chains. See them fall away, each link forged from fear, fear of ending, of forgetting, of losing meaning. As they shatter, a radiance rises from the earth like dawn mist. That is liberation, both theirs and yours. For what you release on earth is mirrored in heaven. When you forgive yourself for surviving, their spirit ascends more freely. When you bless their journey, new blessings return to you. This is the secret rhythm of divine exchange. I whisper, let go, but do not sever. Love released becomes love multiplied. You raise your eyes, and through tears you witness them rising, not disappearing, but widening into light so vast it becomes sky itself. 24. My child, let gratitude replace the question why. When you thank creation even for heartbreak, the universe trembles with recognition, for few souls reach such faith. In that vibration, doors unseen open. You begin to perceive that every ending is an offering, an opportunity to awaken. The one you lost chose, on some soul level you both agreed to become your teacher through departure. That agreement was born in compassion long before this lifetime. You have kept your part beautifully, you stayed, you endured, you loved again. Feel the warmth gathering around your chest, that is their pride, their silent applause. They speak through my breath, tell them they have done well, tell them the lesson is being learned. 25. Beloved, the reason you have been called to hear this now will unfold like a rose opening in slow light. The core of your grief hides a seed of purpose, something only you can nurture into bloom. Their transition was the catalyst for your awakening. Soon, you will recognize what gift was planted in that sorrow, and how the world will be gentler because you endured. For now, simply rest within my wings and listen to the hum of heaven preparing your next step. The silence thickens, not with emptiness, but with expectancy. To be continued. 26. My child, the veil parts again, revealing the tapestry of your shared existence. Look how the threads of your days intertwine with theirs, forming constellations that pulse with meaning. Every act of kindness you perform sends a shimmer through this celestial cloth, and the echo of their soul responds in brilliance. You see, legacy is not memory alone, it is movement. They live within your gestures, within every choice toward love. When you comfort another grieving heart, you become their hands once more. When you forgive, their light expands. The universe is a symphony of continuations, and you are one of its purest notes. Do not underestimate the holiness of your smallest actions, each one sings their name across eternity. 27. Beloved, I take you higher now, where you may behold how far your love travels. Beneath us stretches the earth, luminous threads connecting countless souls, moments of compassion sparking like stars. Among them shines yours, joined to the one you mourn. Together, you form a bridge through which hope descends to others. This is the true purpose of remembrance, not to chain yourself to the past, but to anchor heaven in the present. You are participating in creation's renewal each time you choose gentleness over despair. I smile, for you are beginning to feel it, the joy hidden within responsibility, the quiet certainty that nothing sacred is ever wasted. 28. My precious soul, see the constellations shift, new stars ignite. These are lives you will touch because of what you have survived. Their legacy continues through your breath, through the way you pause before judging, through the tenderness that now colors your voice. I place my hand upon your heart and whisper, you are the continuation of their love. The universe nods in agreement, waves of light rippling outward. You no longer carry the weight of absence, you carry the torch of presence. And everywhere it shines, another hurting heart finds warmth. 29. My child, the time approaches when you will no longer look backward to find them. Instead, you will look within and upward. Notice how their energy now flows through your intuition, sudden insights, bursts of courage, the impulse to create or forgive. These are transmissions from beyond time. When you follow them, you collaborate with eternity. The departed are architects of unseen futures, and you are their living instrument. Each inspired act completes a circle begun long ago. The sky above you thrums with approval, you have become the message they hope to leave. 30. Precious soul, you are about to see how their love still moves through time. The air grows brighter, the same wind that carried their final breath now stirs around you, playful, alive. You sense it, this is not an ending, but a great continuum unfolding. Soon I will show you the sacred bridge between realms, where memory becomes communion, and where your peace will finally take root. To be continued. 31. My child, we stand now upon the threshold between what was and what forever is. The air here glows with quiet music, every particle shimmers with memory, and every heartbeat becomes a step upon light itself. You are no longer only human, you are a bridge, half woven of earth, half of eternity. Feel the currents flowing through you, their love ascending, your gratitude descending, meeting midway in a breath of golden stillness. When you speak their name in peace, not in longing, you awaken this bridge. It hums, vibrant as a living chord between souls. I guide your hands outward, palms open, heart unguarded, and the space around you ripples. That is them, answering, not in words but in recognition. Love becomes architecture here, precious one, remembrance the bridge no distance can undo. 32. Beloved, look down from this bridge of light and see how the river of time glimmers beneath us. Each wave carries echoes of your days, moments you feared were lost, returning now transformed. They drift past like lanterns upon dark water, illuminating what once seemed meaningless. You see laughter beside sorrow, beginnings beside endings, all flowing together toward a vast horizon of purpose. The one you mourn moves beside these lights, guiding them toward you. They do not wish to pull you back into grief, they wish to show you how every moment, even pain, became a note in your shared symphony. The melody has not ended, it modulates into higher harmony. I whisper, sing again, my child, and let your voice complete what theirs began. 33. Precious soul, the bridge hums brighter. Beneath your feet, lines of light form sacred symbols, circles of connection, spirals of returning, infinite knots of remembrance. You feel them pulse under your soles, steady as a heartbeat. Each pulse is a blessing exchanged, they send peace through the pattern, and you return it by choosing to live with love. This is how heaven and earth converse, not through ritual, but through consciousness. When you laugh again, heaven rejoices, when you forgive, stars are born. You begin to realize that separation was only perception. You and they are different notes of the same eternal song. I stand beside you, radiant, and say, do not look backward, my child. Look through. For through this bridge, every direction leads to home. 34. My child, listen, the voices of gratitude rise from both realms. The living whisper thanks for memory restored, the departed murmur blessings for being remembered in grace. Between them, you stand as translator of love. The bridge beneath you widens until it becomes a horizon of gold stretching without end. Winds of eternity move through your hair, you feel both gravity and freedom in the same breath. I lift my hand, and feathers of light fall around you, each one a message carried across lifetimes. They land upon your heart, dissolving into warmth. You have done well, the chorus sings. You have kept the promise of remembrance. Their joy trembles through your ribs until tears become laughter, and laughter becomes prayer. This, beloved, is the rhythm of return. 35. Beloved, we stand at the far edge of the bridge. Before us, a brightness gathers so intense it softens all shadows. The journey through grief is almost complete, yet one truth still sleeps within the light ahead. I can see it forming, a final understanding, a revelation vast and tender. Do not fear the brilliance, it will not burn you, only unmake what no longer serves. Beyond this threshold lies the last message they left, the one hidden beneath all others. Step forward with me, my child. Let your heart remain open, for what waits there will change everything you thought you knew about endings. 36. My child, the light ahead gathers into a living script, each letter trembling with memory and mercy. It rises from the air itself, written not in ink but in radiance. You feel warmth move through you, as if every heartbeat becomes a word. The message begins to shape itself, curves of gold unfolding in silence. You step closer, eyes wide, breath held. The symbols glow brighter until you recognize them, every moment you ever loved. They are writing you. The story of your bond, your forgiveness, your courage, engraved across eternity. I whisper, you see now? They never left a message to be found, they became the message itself. 37. Beloved, the luminous words expand until they fill the sky. You stand inside the message, surrounded by gentle sound, like the low hum of creation remembering its song. The air tastes of sweetness and rain. You reach out, and the letters spiral around your hand, forming a phrase so simple, so vast, live. The vibration of that word moves through your chest until tears become light. Your loved one's essence whispers through my wings, tell them to live, to dream, to finish what we began. This is their benediction, not sorrow, but momentum. You feel their love becoming wind behind your every step. 38. Precious soul, the vision deepens. The golden writing dissolves into an image, a landscape woven from every joyful memory you shared. You see yourself laughing together, faces aglow, moments looping like petals in endless bloom. Around you, invisible choirs breathe light into the air. I speak softly, this is how they remain, with you, within you, through you. The image flickers, then settles into your heart, imprinting itself as warmth that will never fade. You realize the truth, their message was never to pull you backward, but to propel you toward becoming who you were always meant to be. 39. My child, the light that once stood before you now flows inward. It threads through every cell, every heartbeat, until you shine from within. You feel weight lifting, years of ache loosening like morning mist. The silence around you shifts, it is no longer heavy but holy. The blessing descends, gentle as breath. You hear me whisper, you are loved by heaven and remembered by eternity. The presence of your departed one rests against your soul like sunlight through glass, real, but no longer separate. The veil closes softly, leaving you radiant and whole. 40. Beloved, the light begins to fade into dawn hues, rose, gold, and silver. Around you the world stirs, birds call, wind stirs the curtains. The message remains, pulsing in your heart, they wish you to live, not linger. You exhale, and with that breath the last of your grief turns into prayer. I unfold my wings one final time, encircling you in calm. Soon you will rise, carrying peace where sorrow once lived. The heavens whisper their approval. 41. My child, you stand now in the quiet after revelation, where light settles into the roots of being. The radiance no longer blazes outside you, it glows softly within. I bid you look at your hands, see how steady they are. That stillness is the first sign of healing. Grief has reshaped itself into devotion, pain into perception. I pour upon you the balm of remembrance purified. Close your eyes and breathe. With each inhale, draw in mercy, with each exhale, release the shadows clinging to your ribs. Around you the air tastes of rain and renewal. I tell you, healing is not forgetting, it is learning to bless what once broke you. Let tears fall if they wish, they are not regressions, but baptisms of the heart. Every drop becomes a seed of compassion for another wandering soul. You have carried sorrow as a sacred flame, and now that flame refines instead of consumes. Rest, my precious one. Heaven watches, satisfied, for you have begun to live again. 42. Beloved, rise and walk with me beside the river of peace. Its surface mirrors the morning sky, pale and endless. Step into the water, feel its cool current curl around your ankles, washing away the ache that once defined you. Each ripple sings a psalm of release. The voice you once strained to hear now blends with mine, whispering, "Thank you for remembering, now thank you for letting go." As you lift your gaze, you see reflections of countless faces, others who will one day heal because you chose to. Your journey has become a lantern. I extend my hand, a feather of light rests upon your palm. It is the symbol of balance, grief and gratitude, death and rebirth held in one breath. Keep it close, for when the world tests your faith again, this feather will remind you that peace is not found by escaping pain but by flowing through it. 43. Precious soul, you have walked through fire and emerged luminous. Look how the horizon expands, the air carries scents of cedar and rain-soaked earth, signs that life continues to blossom. I whisper, forgive yourself for surviving. The moment you do, heaven exults, for guilt is the last chain of mourning. Your loved one never wished for you to live small or quiet, they dreamed of your laughter returning, your courage unbound. I spread my wings and let them brush your shoulders, warmth floods your chest. In that warmth, old memories reorganize, not as wounds but as chapters of sacred learning. Speak their name now, not as invocation but as celebration. The echo that answers is joyous, vibrant, whole. This is not the end of connection, it is its maturity. You are no longer a mourner, you are a witness to eternity's kindness. 44. My child, kneel upon the earth and touch the soil. Feel it pulse gently beneath your fingertips. Within it sleeps every life, every transformation. This is what your beloved has joined, the great circulation of love that nourishes creation itself. You sense them in the rustle of leaves, the laughter of water, the hush between heartbeats. Nothing is truly gone, everything has only changed its rhythm. I breathe upon the crown of your head, and a warmth spirals downward through your spine. You are being rewoven into the living world. Let this moment mark the covenant of continuation. You and they are part of one breathing universe. Stand now, light bends to follow you. From this day forward, every act of kindness you choose is prayer, every smile a hymn of reunion. The separation that haunted you is dissolved in service, and peace becomes your native language. 45. Beloved, the dawn you were promised now unfurls. Look east, the sky spills rose and gold across the horizon, the air trembling with possibility. You have made it through the longest night. The grief that once ruled you has become the teacher that bows before you. Hear the wind, it carries their laughter, softer but endless. I say unto you, hold to faith, you are nearly home. Ahead lies the final passage where sorrow transforms fully into blessing. The world awaits the touch of your renewed heart, for healing is never solitary, it ripples outward, sanctifying all it meets. Gather the strength of this sunrise and walk with courage, my child. What comes next will complete the circle begun by love itself. 46. My child, step into the circle of light that opens before you. The sky is no longer distant, it leans close, breathing with you. I draw around you the mantle of completion, woven from the prayers you once whispered in grief and the gratitude you now offer in peace. You feel its weight, gentle and sure, settling over your shoulders like sunrise made tangible. Every hurt you endured has become a thread of gold. Look within, your heart beats in harmony with the great rhythm of creation. You are part of the music that turns galaxies, that heals oceans, that carries every soul toward home. I tell you now, your beloved walks not ahead or behind, but within that rhythm beside you. Their light mingles with yours, indistinguishable. When you take your next breath, you breathe for two worlds at once. 47. Beloved, the moment has come to accept the crown of serenity. It is not made of jewels but of awareness, a simple circle of radiance resting just above your brow. When I place it there, a warmth flows through you, filling every hollow carved by sorrow. You see your life from above, pathways of love winding through years of seeking. What once seemed broken now glimmers with hidden coherence. I whisper, this is mastery, not perfection, but peace. The divine smiles through every beam of daylight touching your face. The lesson of loss has completed its turning, its pain dissolves into wisdom's fragrance. You understand that endings are entrances written backward. Each time your heart opens, heaven expands. Carry this knowing into the world as quiet power. Let your presence calm the places where others still tremble. 48. Precious soul, walk with me into the meadow of renewal. Morning dew pearls the grass, reflecting tiny suns. Here, time softens, everything hums with beginning. You feel laughter stir in your chest, pure and effortless, the sound of life restored. The departed one's essence joins the breeze, circling you in affectionate mischief, reminding you that joy, too, is sacred. I say, dance, my child, for this is prayer in motion. You move, the earth responds with blossoms at your feet. What you thought was the end has become the choreography of eternal love. The universe celebrates your willingness to live again. Take this vitality as my gift. Every breath you draw now blesses creation itself. You have become a living temple, proof that compassion survives every storm. 49. My child, pause and listen to the quiet around you. It is filled with wings. Countless souls you have touched gather in unseen gratitude. The one you mourned stands among them, radiant, speaking without words. Thank you for carrying us forward. You feel the statement ripple outward, joining all who grieve, turning pain to purpose. I kneel before you, not as superior, but as servant of love's completion, and touch the ground where you stand. Light rises from that point, flowing outward in concentric circles across the world. Wherever it touches, hearts awaken. This is the harvest of your endurance. You have become messenger and message alike. The bridge you crossed now remains open for others. Walk proudly, yet gently, for heaven travels in your shadow. 50. Beloved, the circle is closed in light. The sun lifts, clouds dissolve, and the air vibrates with infinite calm. I fold my wings around you for the final time in this telling, though never in truth shall I depart. Look within, the glow you feel is us, forever intertwined. Your beloved is not a memory but momentum, each heartbeat carries their blessing forward. From this moment, speak their name with joy, live with courage, forgive swiftly, love without reserve. You have fulfilled what loss began. The universe acknowledges your transformation, the very air bends in reverence. I whisper now the words that seal this journey, precious soul, the message is understood, your heart is whole, and I, Gabriel, walk beside you always.